Hey guys, so anytime you work on any kind of electrical, you have to make sure the power is off. That being said, you always wear the appropriate PPE, in this case, safety goggles and anything else you deem relevant for your own safety. If you're unsure about this kind of work, make sure you have a licensed, insured, experienced tradesman to do the work for you. Now, always follow your bylaws and codes and everything like that for your particular area and work safely. This is just theory. Now, I found these light switches very interesting. These are your MEROSS dimmable light switches. And you can dim them from either side. And you have your master switch. You have your slave switch. And how they work, which is different from a normal. So we'll have the power coming in, our neutral wire, and we'll use brown for ground. And then the next interesting part is you have a power on one side, and we're using brown for ground. So you have ground coming in for there, and that's the start of it. Now, the other part of this is we have our travelers. So we'll use them as red. And how they work is like so. So our bulb will be in the center of this. And the way it works is this. You have your ground, which will go to the light switch here. And you have a ground which goes to this light switch. Then the power comes in, and this will be your T2, which is going to be blue in this case. So it'll link up here and then there. So you have your power coming in from both sides, and the red just links up to the switch right there. Boom, that's done. The next portion of this, we have our neutral, which comes in, and it also go out to your light. So these all get wire netted together. So we have, just to go from the top, we have our ground, our neutral wire connected to the light, and on the other side of this, we have our T1, our Traveler 1, our Traveler 2, which also has the hot wire, plus the ground, which is the green there. Now, on this side of things, we have our Traveler 1 coming in, and then we have our blue for the Traveler 2, which is also the load wire, and that goes out to the light bulb. So this is just a slave to the master, and the master is what controls everything. Now, my version of this, because I only have a three-way wire running back and forth, so my neutral is still attached, and it also, so these light switches are not compatible with my current setup, which is why I set this up this way. My switch is slightly different. I've got your typical power coming in. Then I will use green for the boxes, for the light boxes. And then at the end of it, I will, what color haven't I used yet? Blue, green. I'll just use that as a light. We'll keep that there. Alrighty. So we have our load wire, which goes into the light bulb. We have our traveler, which goes to the light switch. We have our second traveler, which goes to the light switch. We have our power that comes in and hits there. And then our neutral wire goes over, connects out to the three-way, goes over to here, so it has one connection here, and then one connection to the light bulb. And that completes the circuit for that. So when your light switch flicks to the on position, so let's say it goes the on, power goes here, and it cuts over to the light bulb. So this is the on, and if you go to this side, you turn this off, it changes from here to go in this way. And since this switch is now on in a different position, the power is now cut off, goes over to here, but this is still in the off position and this is in the off position, and that way there's nothing flowing here. So if you were to turn this switch back on, it'll change from this direction to this direction, and the electricity will flow, the light will be on, and if you were to turn it back off again, it'll disconnect from the flowing over to the line where it's not flowing until you hit this switch, and then you connect it again, and then electricity will flow again. And that's roughly in the theory on how a conventional three-way light switch works. In this way, you have your power coming in, and sorry about that, you have your power coming in. So power comes in, and then when you, let's say the switch is off, when you hit the switch, it picks one of these travelers and turns it on. So the light now is on. And you have these two travelers over here, so it's also lit up. And then when you go to this light, you hit the switch, and then it comes back by telling this switch to turn off. Now, I don't know exactly how these smart switches work between the two, but I do know I need an additional hot wire. So I'm assuming that the light switch itself will be taking one of these wires and turning it into a temporary neutral until otherwise told. So if you've come this far, thanks for watching, and this is all in theory. I'll catch you in the next one when I do this for real.